Hi, Alan Schimmel, DevOps.com here at DevOps Enterprise Summit 2016, and I'm here with Amy Phillips of Songkick.
Yes, hello.
And Amy, I'm going to let you tell our audience, who is Songkick? What do they do?
So Songkick is the world's largest independent music ticketing provider. So we're based on the web and on mobile, bringing fans and artists together.
Absolutely. And Amy, you just presented.
That's right.
And why don't you give our audience, what was the title of your presentation?
Today I was talking about whether your gatekeeper was locking out quality.
That's an interesting topic. And why don't we expand on that a little bit? Why would your gatekeeper be locking out quality? It's his job?
Well, we were talking about testing and quality. So my background is in software testing. And so I'm approaching the sort of DevOps transformation from a testing point of view. And people often seem to get caught up in providing like handoffs and sign-offs and adding more testing in the belief that it's adding quality.
Right.
But actually, quality is much more broad than that. So quality is delivering products that matter to users. So actually being able to release frequently is more likely to aid your quality than just adding more tests. So they're sort of slightly different. So yeah, so it's like
there is a subtlety to it. There's a depth to it. But Amy, so many, we at DevOps.com, we obviously speak to a lot of people. We have a lot of people writing articles, and probably right now one of our most hotly contested areas is the idea of automating testing, QA's role in a DevOps world. Where are we going with testing? Should we test everything? Or as you say, it's more important to have rapid releases because that ultimately is a better measurement of quality. For our audience who maybe are in QA or in testing, what do what do they need to fear DevOps? How do they thrive in a DevOps type of environment?
That's a great question. So I think probably my biggest issue with DevOps is the name. Right. So it sounds like it's excluding testing, which immediately gets us off onto the wrong foot with testers. But actually, once you realize it's including everybody and bringing them back together, then we can start to sort of look at making it practical. So for me, it works really well. We don't want to do the same type of testing as we've always done on every system. We should be doing the right level of testing. Mm-hmm. So it depends on the risk. What's the risk of this release, the risk of this project, and then trying to do the most appropriate testing. So maybe that's automated or maybe it's not. But you have this sort of testing expertise to guide that based on risk of each release.
So for those people who say, we can automate all testing, and equally for those people who say there's no way we can never automate all testing, the answer is it really depends on the situation.
That's right. They're probably both wrong. I don't think there's an all or nothing.
Life often is not all or nothing,
exactly.
Right? It's not black and white.
That's right. So I think you'll always have testing expertise needed on every project. How the tester chooses to apply testing, whether it's with tools or without, very much depends on your system.
And it can change on on the situation, right?
That's right.
Today it's this, tomorrow or yesterday it's different, and I think people need to sort of take that long view.
That's right.
But overall, do you think testers need to? Is there any new skills that they need to be mindful of in working at DevOps organizations or DevOps-enabled organizations?
Well, I think the actual testing task itself is the same as it has always been. Mm-hmm. Testers should be looking to do the best testing they can. So learning about tools and techniques and how to actually apply those things. But I think the biggest change is the cultural side of DevOps. So testers need to be much more proactive about getting to know developers, getting to understand the infrastructure and the operations side of things. And then, there sort of can be the bridge almost between the two, because testers have a great sort of horizontal view of entire systems, so they can actually help collaborate and actually bring DevOps in. So I don't think testers maybe realize the power they have in these environments.
They do have the power.
They do.
Okay, Amy, let me pivot a little bit. What made you talk about? What made you want to present at DevOps Enterprise Summit this year?
Well, I hear a lot of things about DevOps. It's obviously a massively popular topic at the moment, which is fantastic. And I just find there are so few testing voices involved, which is a real shame because, as I say, I think there are a lot of people who just assume that testing isn't part of the DevOps story.
Right.
So I was really keen to come here and actually share my experiences, but also to learn. Like the talks have been absolutely fantastic today.
Yeah,
so,
you've had a great time.
Taking away so many new ideas myself.
Good for you. Good for you. And maybe we should call it Dev Test Ops.
It's not a bad place, right? But then you forget the business people. Like,
we'll get the dev, test, sec, business ops, something.
Exactly.
We'll just call it doing. I tell people, don't get hung up on dev and ops. It's just the new way we do things.
Right.
And we'll go with that. But Amy Phillips, thank you so much for joining us today. Continued success with Songkick. And we'd like to hear more of your story, perhaps at another DevOps Enterprise Summit or on DevOps.com.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is Alan Schimmel for DevOps.com.